Good evening,
I
Drew.
just don't understand. I have turned off every conceivable way that somebody can contact me on Skype. And
The
every
bots are still
time
there.
I
Yeah.
open this app, it is nothing but spam.
Yeah,
Nothing.
we should probably
I
use
have
something
to
else.
scroll so far to find your name.
Oh,
I don't understand.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Where do we want to start?
I don't know. Where do you want to go? I honestly I'm really excited about the second item in the list here. But
Okay.
but if you want to give an update on your illness, that's fine too.
Yeah. Well, which one? Okay, so I'll do a quick little update. Last
Mhm.
episode we talked about how friend of the show Jeremiah was kind enough to enable my mental illness by providing me with
Uh-huh.
some really really awesome flight sim equipment for my computer.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So I'm happy to I have a mixed update for the
Okay.
audience. Okay.
Okay. Mixed.
So, yep. So yesterday in earnest, we're recording on a Saturday. So yesterday in earnest, I sat down and I decided that okay, we're gonna try to make this work. We're gonna set all this up, and we're gonna go deep in the paint with this simulation.
Okay.
We're gonna really go for it. So the main sort of topic that we talked about last time is where am I going to put these fucking things?
And you were looking at
We
buying like a kind of a racing cockpit kind of thing to
Yes.
mount your stuff. Did you do that?
I didn't do that.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't do that. I
Okay.
could not talk myself into that.
Okay.
So here's what I got instead. I first bought these. And this is known as a Mesa mount. I guess the brand is Mesa. But what this is these are aluminum, like machined aluminum modular pieces of metal with base plates on them
Yep. Yep. I
that
see.
you
I see.
that
I
you
see
screw
that.
these things to.
Yeah.
And then there are adjustable, let's just call them what they are. They look like plungers.
Mm-hmm.
And when you want to attach these things to your desk, you put the clampy part on the desk. You take that little lever and you jam it up there so it tightens it to your desk. And they work great. It's way more stable than it looks. It's got a really good grip. And those base plates are fully adjustable up and down, out and back. So you can get very comfortable regardless of what your setup is.
Okay.
Now, I bought these, and this is going to go into the second part of this topic. As part of the reason I bought, these specific ones, is that they are made for that hardware that we talked about.
Okay.
Particularly if you're looking at that picture on Beesbo's Place, the right hand mount has a very skinny metal plate that goes out.
Yeah.
And then it has what looks to be a circular cutout in the base.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the stick goes.
Okay.
Because again, if you go back to last episode and you look at the show links, the flight stick, the thing that makes the airplane move left and right and up and down in the air, has this big honking metal plate on it.
It sure does.
The flight stick base was just screwed to that. So you can unscrew that base and put it on the smaller base.
Okay.
So it's got much less of a footprint, and you're not like jamming your knees or jamming that big plate into your side.
It's very well reviewed too.
Yeah, no, it's very sturdy, very well constructed. Everything's metal on metal. We love that here.
Yep.
All right. So I had to get all this stuff ready and build it and then connect it to my computer. And that's when the problem started.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm just convinced. Like I'm just very convinced that USB is terrible. Everything about we talk a lot of shit about Bluetooth around here. Man, USB is kind of a shit show too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So each one of these peripherals is USB, as you would imagine.
Right.
So there's drivers, and you have to plug the USB thing into your computer. And hey, I'm no spring chicken. I've used computers before. I know how this goes. The cardinal rule of this stuff is that you go out and you find, number one, is there some shitty driver package that you have to install for these things? You install the shitty driver package, and then, and only then, should you plug these things into your computer. That, I don't care what you're doing with USB. That is the de facto way to do it. Because if you don't do that and you plug USB, and let me just preface this by saying, I don't think Macs have this problem. I don't think Linux has this problem. Linux and Mac have their own problems. This is very much a Windows thing.
Right.
Because Windows will just try to guess. Oh, that looks like a joystick. Here, let me give you this joystick driver. No, I don't want that driver. I want this driver. So the cardinal rule is install the shitty drivers, then plug this stuff in. So that's what I did. And I plugged in the throttle, and everything lit up green because it's like green LED backlit, as you would expect. Everything working as intended. Yep. Opened the control panel, looked at how many different buttons are on this thing, and there are a lot, which is just great. Which is just what I want. I want all those buttons. I want all the clicky, tactile, everything buttons. The joystick, though. The joystick wasn't showing up.
Uh-oh.
Now, this is interesting because these USB devices basically have bootloaders on them. I'm not going to spare you. I'm not going to spare you the 8 hours I spent working on this today and the rabbit holes I went down when I could have been flying an airplane. But the long and short of it is that these things have USB controllers in them that have the drivers that are already part of them. And depending on what your install pattern is, theoretically, you should be able to plug this joystick in, and it should be able to tell Windows, here's what I am, and here's the driver I want you to use. But the driver that's on the system boards of these things do not show up in such a way that, yes, it is recognized by Windows as a thing, but it's not recognized as a joystick or a game controller.
Oh, no.
So I spent a lot of time reading Reddit posts and reading documentation and troubleshooting, and basically this sounds like this was a pretty common thing. And I did all the different troubleshooting steps, and nothing was working. And then I found another thread on a flight sim forum where it was like, hey, if you're seeing this repeatedly, it's because you don't have a good connection between your flight stick and your base. And I went, excuse me? So here's a fascinating thing about this system, Paul.
Okay.
The sticks, the thing that you actually put your hand on, and the base that records the X, Y, and Z movement of the stick are two different pieces.
Oh, okay.
And they're interchangeable.
Right.
So, for example, if I'm flying an A10, I can have a stick that has the A10 layout. If I'm flying an F-16, I can have a stick that has the F-16 layout. If I'm flying an F-15, an F/A-18, whatever. You can buy different sticks that have different bases. And sure enough, if you unscrew that base and you take that stick off, there is, and I really don't know how to describe this, like a DIN interface between the stick and the base. Like a super miniaturized version of what you would see like on an XLR connection.
Yeah, some pins.
Yeah, there's some pins. There's male and female pinholes. And they're like, if this is happening, it's probably because that stick isn't connected well enough, or it's having trouble communicating with the base. And sure enough, they were like, take some tweezers and see if you can wiggle the little plate this thing connects to. And sure enough, it looks like that just through age or transit or something, That's just no good. It's just
Still
no good.
loose.
It's all loose. So I got out the handy iFixit kit and I'm tearing this thing apart. I mean, it's not overly complicated. Like when you open the base, you got some ground wires, you have a system board with a USB that's like your USB interface and the actual electronics that power this thing. You got some ribbon cables in there for the communication that goes up to the stick and that interface that I told you about. This isn't rocket surgery. It's all about just making sure that you don't actually break a wire when you're in there messing around. So I spent all afternoon toying with that, plugging it in, trying different USB ports, because here's another thing that I've had happen before, and I didn't completely rule this out either, is that when you're not using an Intel-based motherboard, your USB controller isn't made by Intel because no one wants to pay Intel the licensing fees. So I have some, whatever AMD chose as their USB controller. And then I have different types of USB ports. I've got USB 3, 3.1, Type A, Type C. I got all kinds of shit. I got dongles. I got all kinds of things where this could be falling apart. So you can see where my frustration would come in with this. So about 4:00 this afternoon, I'm sitting there in my basement at my workbench. I got a half disassembled joystick base, and I'm like, fuck it. Money's going to solve this problem.
Oh, no.
So once I realized that these joysticks are interchangeable, I was like, well, all I really need to do is it was one of two things. It was either the joystick, it was either the stick itself and the connectivity there, or it was the base. And I had a really, really strong suspicion it was the base. So I went to Micro Center.
As one does.
As one does. And I bought that.
So you bought a new base.
Bought a new base. And this is generation 2 of what my other base was. Okay. This thing is gyro stabilized, has adjustable springs.
Look at that.
Yeah, if you click through some of the pictures, you can see, like with the base off, how the internal workings of this thing are. You can see that there's very clearly defined springs in there. Those are all interchangeable. There's other interchangeable parts to basically tailor this to how you want it to be. And I also bought a stick when I was there that was almost as much as this base. And this base is costly.
Yeah.
Costly. So I bought a stick just in case. I was like, okay, it's either the base or the stick. And Micro Center has the parts for me to fix this. And on the off chance it's both of these things, I'll at least have a flight stick that I can use that's good. Because I got to tell you, these sticks and these bases, there's not plastic here. This is all metal, baby. This is all metal, high quality construction, feels really good in your hand. Just really, really good shit. So I get it home, I unbox the base, I take my flight stick off my other base. Well, it was already off that base because I was working on it. Like, very carefully put the pins in the pinhole on this one, which is a similar pin layout, but was different. And when I saw that, I was like, uh-oh, this might not work. Screwed it all together, plugged it in, and now everything's fine.
Oh, good.
So I can return the super expensive extra stick that I bought. But,
okay.
On the off chance that one day I do want other sticks, I'm in a position to do that. And I was fussing with the different springs and such right as we were getting ready to record here. And I can also still attach it to the same base I bought. Yeah, no, it's good. It's real good. I can't wait to finish getting in there. I haven't actually flown the plane yet. It's all just been figuring out how I want to map the different keys.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And again, the internet's good and bad because you can go on the internet and you can find profiles that people built, but I think they're just old enough that there's been changes in the program and the mappings don't work correctly. A lot of them assume you're either playing in VR or playing with TrackIR. So I'm just going through and mapping the controls that I think I need. So that's like one of these days I'm going to have a lot of fun flying an airplane, but I'm still not there yet.
Not there yet.
I'm not there yet. So that's the big update. Those are the things I got for my desk, and everything is fine $300 later.
Oh.
All right. So next topic then, the one that you're
Mhm.
excited about. So after last episode,
Mhm.
I felt bad that I couldn't do the cool
Yeah.
emojis that you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. You want? Yeah.
Uh, so I went out and I decided it was time to get a new phone.
Okay.
So I went out and I bought an iPhone 16 Pro, titanium
Nice.
colored.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay.
Titanium colored. The white was a little too bright. I like the natural titanium look. And also, I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I really wasn't sure what case I wanted. And I know we talked about my stupid tactical cases and all that other shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also happy to report that Micro Center actually sells that brand at their store.
Of course they do. Of
Yeah,
course
so they sell Urban Armor Gear cases at their store. And I mean they didn't have the super expensive ones, but they do have like the Kevlar ones. So it's a good case. It's got the cutouts in all the right places. Again, we talked about this on another show. You can go see the one I'm using if you really care that much. But they did have that, and that was good. So then it was time to come home and do the upgrade dance.
Yes.
So I bought this phone directly from Apple. I did not make the same mistake that I made last time. I did the same thing I did when I bought Mandy's phone. I just paid for the phone outright.
Yep.
That's
the way to go.
I am privileged enough. I am privileged enough that was the option, and that is always the best choice if you have that option available to you.
I agree. Yes. Yep.
So let's take a quick logistical trip with what I now have. So I have the new iPhone. I have the old iPhone 14 Pro, which was my personal phone, and I have the iPhone XR, which is my work phone. The plan was to take the iPhone 14 Pro number, transfer it to the new phone.
Makes sense.
Transfer all my data from that phone to that phone, make sure everything worked, wipe the 14 Pro, then transfer the number of my work phone over to that phone, transfer the data, wipe the XR. And the nice young man at the Apple store told me, because I actually had to take a work call from the Apple store, super awkward, in the middle of this.
Convenient. Yeah.
And he said, so what's your plans for the XR? And I said, oh, I'll probably just, he was like, do you want to trade it in? And I'm like, well, I still have to transfer everything and do all that stuff. And he goes, oh, well, you can just bring it back anytime in the next 2 weeks when you're done and we'll still give you credit.
That's nice.
And I was like, well, how much? And he goes, let me check. Scroll. Oh, $100. All right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
$100. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You got my attention. So I get everything home, and now I'm faced with how am I going to move all this data around?
Okay.
In the past, I have been a big proponent of doing a full iPhone backup on a Mac and doing a restore. And that has served me well until it didn't.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Because when we tried to do Mandy's, we took the backup on my Mac where I was logged in with my Apple account, but I took a backup of her phone, which is on a different Apple account. And somewhere along in the line, some encryption keys got swapped that we didn't know. And she basically had to start over with everything. So that was not good. So I decided to just try the phone to phone transfer.
That's what I've done. Of course, now I'm gonna do the whole like put a Thunderbolt cable in between the two and transfer it that way. But yeah, I've done the like wireless, like bring your phone close, just copy everything over. It's worked well for me every time. So
yeah, so that's what I did, and it was very straightforward. It took about 45 minutes to transfer all my crap. But when it was done, I had to just log into a bunch of shit. My 1Password still worked. I had to perform a recovery of my authenticator to make sure that all my two-factor stuff was all synced up. Everything seemed to work fine, ? Okay. And I let it go for a couple days before I decided, okay, this is working well.
Good.
And then I did the whole same thing on my work phone. That did not go as smoothly, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had to break out some recovery codes. Well, it's just, look, that had device management on it and profiles and other things that I thought would just transfer but didn't. So that was a little more hectic. And there was like a day this week that I spent about 2 hours just figuring out, okay, what do I need to log into that I still can't log into? And I think I got everything fixed now. So that phone is now wiped. My old iPhone 14 Pro is now serving as my work phone, and this one's working well. So
good.
Yeah, long time coming. I've been wanting to get a new phone for so long. But now I'm officially in the USB-C era.
Mm-hmm.
And every single cable I own is Lightning.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, that was something I really enjoyed, because if I was in any of my cars, I had a USB-C. Both my BMW and my truck have USB-C ports in the car, and I had USB-C to Thunderbolt, and I could charge either phone.
Mm-hmm.
Now I only have USB-C cables in these things, and I've just been buying Anchor USB-C braided cables like crazy.
Yep.
because
as one does.
You only really realize how many of those fucking cables you have until you actually go through this exercise.
Yeah.
And there was one other little epilogue to this whole story that made me really sad. So for Christmas one year, you bought me a really good phone dock.
Oh yeah, that's not going to work anymore, is it?
It's not going to. It's not going to work because
end of an era.
I keep that in a treasured place in my home to charge my phone, and now that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that made me really sad, buddy.
Yeah. How do you like the phone?
I mean, it's really good. Super quick. I'm still in that honeymoon phase with it, where everything's super snappy, super quick. Everything works good. I'm still getting used to that side button for the camera controls. I like it, but I just need to get better at it.
It's a little finicky sometimes. Yeah.
I like how when I talk to the Apple lady, the screen edges turn different colors. I like that a lot. I like the Gen emoji.
Mm-hmm. It's good. Yeah.
I've been using that. Taught my wife how to use that because she can use it too. Yeah, I mean, but it's one of those things. You spend all that money and then you get it home and it's like, how much has really changed between my 14 and this?
Not too much.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
But it does feel good to have something new and snappy. And I mean, the camera's better.
Yes.
But I don't take that many pictures to begin with. I mean, I'm not going to take any pictures of myself, for fuck's sake. But it's fine. I like it. It's good. The new case is good. Oh, okay. You're gonna laugh at me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is your daily make fun of Drew. Make fun of Drew thing. Okay, so got the new phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I also had the Apple leather MagSafe wallet.
Yes.
That thing is totally beat up and patinaed and nasty right now. So I need a new MagSafe wallet type thing.
I'm sure your tactical phone case company will say you something.
Well, not that tactical phone case company, but a different tactical phone case company. Okay, so here's what I got. Just get it out of your system.
Oh my god, that thing's hideous, Drew. What the hell are you doing?
It's so fucking big. It's so fucking big.
Doing?
Tell everybody what it is.
It's let me read the Amazon title here. Pelican iPhone MagSafe wallet with RFID blocking military STD snap-on magnetic phone wallet for cash and phone card holder detachable hard case for iPhone Pro Max 16, 15, 14, 13, 12 - black.
Mm-hmm. This thing is like if it's the closest thing you can have to a MagSafe Pelican case.
Yeah, that's what it is, Drew. It's not the closest you can get. That's what you bought.
That's what I bought. It's actually made by Pelican.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so big. It does. It's so big. It holds 4 cards. I think at least 4 cards, and then it's got a place to hold money, which I never carry. But it's so big.
It's so ugly.
That bitch is watertight. It is
You can throw it in the ocean.
tight. It's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. But it is a bit ostentatious. It's a bit much. Like I look back on it now, it was definitely not worth $70.
No.
But it is made of plastic and metal.
Yeah.
Like it's got metal screws in it. It's, RFID blocking, which whatever. But I was like, okay, I'm going all in on this lifestyle, and that's what I got. That's what I got. All right. So that's my big updates for the week, and this next topic you put on the list last week, and you started to talk about it, but I really want to hear about this.
Yeah. So the wife and I had been talking for a while. Because, like we like to decorate our house for the holidays and put some lights up, but like we also like being lazy. So we were talking about this past Christmas getting some permanent LED lights installed on our house. And we finally got that done a few weeks ago, like right before Valentine's Day. And I love them so much, Drew. I love them. They're great. So we ended up going with this an independent installer who installs trim lights, and it's trimlight.com. They're really, I think there's like one or two Chinese companies that sell like these lights, and different like companies buy them and put different brandings on them and wrap an app around it and sell it to you. The reason I like these so much is it's not just like they slap an LED strip onto your house. They are built in a way where they actually take this like metal frame that is matched to like the whatever color your house is. So in my case, they're white. And he installs those on the house, and then those have little holes for lights to come in. So if the lights are off, unless you're like directly underneath them, you can't tell there's lights installed because it just blends in seamlessly with the house. So I think it looks really nice. Even when it's off, it looks great. But they're delightful. They're great. I can make them any color I want. I can do all kinds of weird stuff where the lights move, and they're good. I'm really, really pleased with how they look, and the installation, and the job the guy did, and it wasn't as expensive as I feared it was going to be. So
So how are they wired in? How are they wired into your house? Do they just plug in?
So no, there is a control box. So there's a control box in the garage, and they all connect to that. And then it actually plugs into the same outlet like where my garage door openers plug into.
Okay, so it just runs, like it didn't have to get its own circuit or anything.
No, but like he got up into like the attic above the garage and ran all the power through there, so it's all real nice and professional looking. And
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the pictures. Do the lights actually stick through the metal part?
Yeah. So I wonder, I don't think I have a photo of them when they're off, because why would I take a picture of them while they're off? But yeah, basically it's like, so like there's like awning and stuff in your house, right? And it's a particular color, and that's the color that basically these little metal color match tracks, he permanently attached those to the house, and then the lights are inside of those, and there's little holes. We ended up getting them spaced like every 12 inches. I have to admit, my wife was right. I originally wanted them closer together because you can get them all the way down. You can get them like 6, 8, 9, 10, or 12 inches. And she was right. When they get too close together, the colors just kind of get all muddied and end up just being like, like white against your house. So they're spaced apart. So as they illuminate the side of the house, you can see each individual color. And it actually looks really nice. I'm glad we went with 12 inches. My wife was right. They're It's good. Now the app is a little. The app is serviceable. The app is serviceable. It's fine. It's fine. It works. You can set up a schedule. You can do custom stuff. It's fine. It's fine. But you know,
I mean,
but,
I have at least 3 different apps on my phone right this very minute for controlling various LED devices in my home, and they're all bad. They're all bad.
yeah. I mean, it's not. This app isn't great, but it gets the job done. It gets the job done. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same bullshit for controlling LED in my computer, so this won't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm really happy. Yeah, they look good.
So
Okay.
I don't know how to ask this without sounding like an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
A little over $2,000.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And that includes the lower level house overhangs and the upper floor?
Yeah, so that was that. We got basically everything on the front done. So it's all of like we have a few peaks over our garage, so there's lights all around there, and around the house, and it's yeah, that was now it took like 7 hours for him to do that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
if one day you decide this shit sucks, I want to take it down, you just
Oh.
have to take off the metal trim pieces.
I believe so. Yeah, yeah, but I'm not.
Now,
doing that.
did they paint them to match your trim?
I don't that they came that color. So like basically the whole process involved us like taking photos of the front of our house and telling him what he wanted because we could have done the sides and the back. We just decided to do the front. So we took pictures and he's like, okay, yep, I know what I need to buy. I'll give you a quote. And then we just had to wait for him to free up because he's apparently doing a lot of these.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the reason I ask is that I live in a very snooty neighborhood with lots of stupid rules.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And I have inquired about doing landscape lighting because I want to add some lights to, like I said, just some accent lighting that lights up different parts of my house. Because I have lights on the outside of my garage, I have lights on my deck, and I have a porch light. But that's it. I would love some landscape lighting or some additional accent lighting around my home just to give it a little more character. I still think I need landscape lights, especially in the far back of my yard. Just like lighting up some trees, but
fancy.
yeah, this is certainly an option. But I just know I'm gonna get a bunch of questions. Will you be able to see them? Are they gonna bug your neighbors? What color are they gonna be?
Yeah, I didn't.
The whole front door thing all over
Yeah,
again.
yeah. We just put them in. I didn't talk to the homeowners association or nothing. We just did it.
Well, I don't think people really complain. But
No.
at least anybody who's nice about it.
And they look really, really good. Like like I could not have done. Like there are ways you can do this yourself, but like they don't look nearly as nice. And this guy definitely knows what he's doing, and it looks nice. And you don't see any wires anywhere. It just looks like it's built into the house. And even like the panel in the garage, you could definitely tell he cared because it's actually organized well, and because it almost looks like a little like from the outside it looks like a little like circuit breaker box, and you open it up and there's all of the different like lines and power for the lights, and then like a little microcontroller and a radio, and apparently it also has an aux in so you can like have it sync to music, which I don't know why you would want to. I mean, I guess I know why you would want to do that, but like that's not my kind of thing. But yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I think I have seen something like this before because when I was down visiting my mom around Halloween, her neighbor had some accent lighting around the eaves of their house that was orange and purple, and I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, yeah, he can make us any color he wants, and I was like, okay, I mean, where aren't we going to put LEDs? But
yeah,
this is interesting.
Yeah, they're individually addressable, though the app makes that kind of tricky to do, but you can still do it.
So
yeah,
so that's my last question, right? Because I'm looking at this website that you linked, and it looks like that there's downlighting options, and that's kind of what I want. I don't necessarily want a continuous ring of lights all around my house. What I would like now. let me take that back. During the holiday seasons, if I want to do Christmas lighty type stuff, yes. But during the summer, I just want downlighting where if I have the entire strip that runs maybe like around my garage, for example, could I just turn on certain lights in the strip to highlight just one particular area, like spotlight one area of like a wall?
Yeah, it's not. Yes, you can. It's gonna take some trial and error because so like basically, so if you scroll up on that website, that shows you the app, right?
Okay.
So this is the main interface for making custom things. Okay. So basically, what you do is there's a bunch of different colors on the top, and then there's an area in the bottom where you kind of make your sequence. So like if you wanted it to be like orange and purple, you would drag down an orange, you would drag down a purple, then you would tap on each one and say like, how many do you want? So you could say like three orange and then 2 purple. So it's going to light up 3 orange and then 2 purple, and then repeat that over and over again. If you want to address individual lights, basically what you have to do is one of the options is a big red X, and that means no lights. So like if you wanted to like, like light up a particular set of lights, you'd have to first drag the no light and say, okay, I want to leave 6 lights off. Then I'm going to turn the next 2 onto white and then leave 12 off and that kind of stuff. So you have kind of just have to play with it a little bit. And one day when it's nice, I'm going to go out there and figure all that stuff out and take notes of like how many, like, so if I want to do something interesting where I do like, like each of the peaks to be a different color and stuff, I know how to set that up. I haven't done that yet. So right now it's just, the lights are, after we did like, obviously we did like red and purple and pink for Valentine's Day, but now Valentine's Day's over, and I asked the family, like, what should we do now? My daughter says, make them purple. So right now they're just purple.
So do you control, is every strip addressable, or if you set the pattern, does it set all strips to that pattern?
So they're all addressable in a sequence, right? So like if you wanted to hand do and do each light an individual color, you could do that
on each strip.
Yeah. So they're basically like one big sequence. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You just have to know how many lights are in each run.
Yes. Yeah. Which the first night stay, I'm basically gonna take a lawn chair, sit it on my driveway, and just fuck with the lights for like 2 hours and figure everything out, and it's gonna be great. But it's too cold for that now, so.
Yeah, it's very cold. Well, that's cool, man. So, I guess what made you want to do this? Like, where did you first hear about this?
I mean, we've seen people doing them. We have some friends. The guy who did this actually recommended from a friend of ours, and like we wanted to do it for Christmas, but of course we were too indecisive about everything, and we couldn't get them in for Christmas. But yeah, it's just now I can have Christmas lights, and I don't have to like get a ladder or do anything, so I can just say Christmas please, and then it's Christmas. So
Christmas please. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I gotta make a Columbus Blue Jackets pattern for next Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. You're getting your money's worth. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty cool, buddy.
Yeah, I'm happy.
That's pretty cool.
They look really nice. I'm very happy.
Yeah. All right.
Shall we?
Yes. Hit the spoiler horn.
Hey, nerds, there's going to be spoilers.
Yeah. I finished The Wire.
All right, buddy, hit me.
I did. So, I was, so obviously, season 4, I wasn't the biggest fan or whatever. That was season 4. Season 5 was definitely wasn't what I expected. And like, but I'm here to say that like they really stuck the landing of that season. I think they really at first when obviously one of the big stories is McNulty and Freeman kind of faking a serial killer in order to get funding for the police department so they can take down shit, now I forget his name.
Marlo.
And like that, the way that that kind of unfolded and ended, at first I was like, well, that's kind of like disappointing. But then I thought about it for a second, and it really fits the theme of the show, which is just like rampant corruption everywhere.
Yep.
You know, how like, well, they really wanted to punish these two cops, but they couldn't because it would make the mayor look bad.
Yep. Yep.
So they kind of just silently sweep it under the rug. Yeah, and then they have to make a deal on the Marlo case to you know, because they know they can't take it to court because it was an illegal wiretap. And yeah.
Yep.
It was yeah. And they spent enough time kind of just like, you know, like just every, even like minor characters got a little bit of time in the sun to kind of show how like things was ending. Poor Omar. Poor Omar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That shocked the shit out of me.
It did too, man. He was just buying a pack of smokes.
Yeah. And that kid just
capped him right in the back of the head. Just bam, dead.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, you know, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite show of all time, of course, because we know that's Buffy, but it was a good show. I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah.
Lots of really good, strong performances. Lots of good actors and actresses on that show. It was good.
Oh,
Yep.
so many good actors. You know, it's funny. I base everything I watch on people who were in The Wire. And I was in Half Price Books earlier this week, as I find myself at least once a month. And I finally picked up Generation Kill.
I don't even know what that is.
So it's about the second Iraq invasion. And I think it's written either by the same people who wrote The Wire or people who worked on The Wire. It basically tells the story of a group of Marines during the second invasion. The guy that plays Ziggy in season 2 is one of the Marines.
Okay.
And he's just as annoying. He's just as annoying. It's like, it's almost the same character. And it's just like, hey Zig. Like, you just see him and it's, what do you even do? So, no, it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I really thought that season 5's very divisive. I go back and forth on whether season 2 or season 5's the weakest season. I love season 2. Like, I love all the characters on season 2, but season 5 does have a lot of very, very bright spots when they start really getting into the investigation and finding all the bodies in the vacants.
Yes.
And the moral depths that McNulty plumbs and how he just alienates everything and every single person except, you know, Freeman.
Yeah.
And how at the end, Beatty still takes him back.
Yep.
And he does do the right thing where he finds that guy and brings him back.
The homeless guy that he moved.
And then he immediately like solves that murder case because of his spending time with the homeless.
Yes. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when he had to do good detective work, he did good detective work, or, you know, good, solid police.
The police. Yeah. Just the police. Yep. And when Rawls says go in there and charge him with everything, McNulty's like, no, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
And of course, Rawls can't make him because, you know, it's one of those things where, like you said, they have to sweep it under the rug. It was the only conceivable way that he and Freeman could have gotten away with everything, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, they didn't get off scot-free, but they didn't, and they were not in jail. So
Freeman got the better end of the deal because he could go out with papers and retire and go work on his doll furniture. But McNulty, you don't really know. It's very up in the air about what happens to him.
Yeah, but it implies that like he's not being kicked off of the force, but he's not allowed to like do anything important. He's probably just gonna have a desk job, or like you see like the
Well,
people
see-
that like that deal with like evidence, or they have like
Well, no,
a desk job.
I think it's implied because of the fact they do the funeral for him. I think it's implied that he's done.
He's done. Okay.
That's how I took that scene to make, right? Because they put him on the felt, as they say. They do the same thing they did for the other cops that passed away by putting him on the pool table, and Jay Landsman eulogizing him, brother, when you were good.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one else I'd rather have catching my body. Just that whole eulogy that he does is super touching, but I took that to mean that he's officially out of police work.
Okay.
So, what a great show! I'm about due for a rewatch. So then the question is, what are you gonna watch now?
What am I gonna watch now? Oh, so I'm watching The Silo on Apple TV Plus.
Okay.
And the latest
Now
season
those are based on the books like Wool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I read those.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good.
Yeah, the only problem with like I'm in the second season, and like I get it. Like there are points where like they're in the dark. I get it, but like you could light those scenes a little better and let me actually see things instead of just like like making everything dark, and you can like you're like I don't know what's going on. I can't see anything. So yeah. And then like the latest season of Mythic Quest is out. That's a really funny show.
I haven't watched that show.
Yeah, it's good. It's the premise is that they're a video game company making like a very successful like MMO. It's World of Warcraft is what it is. But it's not. It's real funny, real sharp writing. Rob McElhenney or whatever his name is yeah. He's the lead character and like a writer or producer or something. So yeah, it's funny. So
yeah. I will advocate for you to watch Mad Men.
Mad Men. Okay. Where can I watch that?
That's a great question. I have all the seasons if you need them.
Let's see. Let's go to my app of choice here.
It was it was an FX show, I think. So I don't know where those shows are.
That means it's probably on Hulu then.
It was on the first time I ever watched it was on Netflix, but I don't think it's on Netflix anymore.
No, it's not. It's not streaming anywhere anymore.
Okay. Well, then I will make digital copies available to you.
Okay.
Because I that's been my go-to the few times that I've had to fly recently, which I've got to do some of that here in the next couple weeks too. Those are great because those episodes are about 45 to 50 minutes long. So you nail 3 or 4 of those on a long plane ride, and it's great. I mean, you have your handheld video games, but
I do.
Yeah. How's that? Everything still working good?
Everything works great.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna advocate Mad Men.
Okay.
I think that you would enjoy that.
Okay.
Trying to think if there's anything else recently that I've been watching.
Oh, you know what? This is really good. If you have Apple TV Plus, Shrinking.
Haven't seen it.
If I was going to recommend somebody a TV show, it would be Shrinking, I think.
Okay. What's it? Sell me. What's it about?
Okay. So the premise is, so the story mainly follows a family who like, dad is a therapist, has a teenage daughter, and their mom has recently been killed by a drunk driver.
Okay.
So it's them going through that, but like obviously since like like the dad is a therapist and works with other therapists. There's other therapists in the show, including Harrison Ford playing Paul, who does an amazing fucking job. Okay. Is a therapist who is suffering through Parkinson's and dealing with that, and a strange daughter and all that stuff. It's kind of like in the same like vein of Ted Lasso. It's trying to be a feel good show, right? Trying to make you like, like as these characters are working through their problems, but it's also like, just when you think like, oh, everybody's finally got their shit together, something always happens, and it kind of just resets everybody, and people have setbacks. And it's a show, it's about grief and it's about forgiveness, but it's real funny. It's written extremely well. It's super smart. It's good. It checks all the boxes for me. I'd highly recommend Shrinking for anybody. Yeah.
I'm waiting for all of the new episodes of Severance to come out so I can binge that.
I'm also watching that. Yeah. I'm caught up on that as of yesterday.
How many more are there? Because I want to watch them all.
I don't know. Yeah. It's every episode in the second season feels like it could be the season finale. Like it's just they're that good. Like it just keeps, and every time, I don't know, like TikTok keeps showing me fan theories of like people what they think, and it's like every time you think you got figured out, the show just goes a different direction. And it's like, no, I don't understand shit. I don't know what's going on. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm super into it.
Yeah, it's real. It's good. It's real good. Though I can't see the desire to just watch them all like in back to back because yeah.
I mean, that's how I watched the first one. So, okay.
It's good. Yeah. There's more goats. So just so you know, there are more goats. More goats.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last topic for the night. And again, this is something that got bumped from last week because we went way off on a lot of tangents last weekend. And I say the word right too much when I listen back. I'm trying to be better about that. So, okay. You and I are both very, very big headphone amp / DAC people.
Audio stuff. Yeah.
Audio stuff. Now, I will admit that people that we both have worked with, and I don't know if they still do, but there was a point in time where that was a big part of their lifestyle and their identity.
That particular person, I think's lifestyle is mostly around 3D printers these days, but yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, they had very, very expensive, very, very high-end audiophile grade gear.
Yes. Yeah.
And I would listen to those headphones with their amplifiers and their stuff. And then I would pick up, a decent pair of Sennheisers, and I couldn't tell the difference. I really couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I do know when stuff doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Yes.
And as somebody who plays 3D games, computer games, I value a good set of headphones, and I also value a good audio device capable of high bit rate, high fidelity, spatial audio if appropriate, just basically anything that doesn't come as part of your computer. Yes. So, years ago, I bought a pre-box S2 digital from Project. I don't know how to say it right.
I always say Project. Yeah.
Project. And Project is a company that's been featured on this podcast before because you bought a turntable from them too, right?
Yeah, my turntable is from Project, and my integrated amplifier is from Project, and my headphone amp is from Project. So yeah.
So years ago, this thing's probably 7, 8, maybe 9 years old at this point. This is the pre-box S2 digital, and I believe that there have been revisions to it. But the device that's going to be linked in the show notes, and the thing that I'm looking at right now, looks almost identical to what I have, except that mine is black. It is a small little device. It is a DAC, or a digital audio.
Yes.
Connector. Converter. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea is that there's a USB cable that plugs into this in your computer. This essentially operates as your sound card, and it also acts as an amplifier, or a preamplifier in this case. And I know there's a difference. Don't come for me. That basically then, if you want to power headphones that require ohms, like more and more ohms. That's what it's all about. It's all about the ohms all the way down. This is a device that would help you do that. And there's different bit rates for audio. There's different audio inputs on the back.
Okay, so I was not sure, so I've been doing research. This what you linked is what I own.
Okay. And I think I also own this. So, okay, I'm actually reading this. 2017. What year is it now? 2015. 2025.
2025.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought this when it came out.
Okay, yeah.
Now, it still works.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using it literally as we speak. I'm using it right now. But the screen on it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I can't find my remote.
Oh, I've never used the remote.
Well, so here's the thing though. On Windows, this drove me crazy for a year. I noticed years ago that my computer was not going to sleep. Even the monitor wasn't going to sleep.
Huh.
And it drove me crazy. I looked at power plan settings. I went into the Windows registry. I could not figure out why it wasn't going to sleep until one day when I was rearranging my desk. I had the pre-box disconnected. So here's the thing. When you connect the pre-box to your machine,
mm-hmm.
it doesn't just register one device in the device manager. It registers two. It registers the DAC as an HID device, human interface device, and then it also registers the remote as another device.
Huh.
And the remote, however that device is working, is constantly sending an input signal and telling the computer that like input's happening, and it won't go to sleep. So every time
I've never had that. Okay, yeah.
So every time I plug in my pre-box S2 digital, or anytime I freshly format my computer, or if I have like a big Windows update, that always like refucks itself. And what I have to do is basically unplug my pre-box S2 digital, go into my device manager, find all my HID devices under device manager, open the properties window of every single one of them, then plug it in and find the one that wasn't there before.
Huh.
And then disable it.
Huh.
And then everything works. Yeah. No. Anyway. So
That's
maybe
crazy.
they fixed that. Maybe they fixed that in the later versions now. But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's probably time
Okay.
to either replace it. Although it still works. So maybe I'll use it on my work computer. Because I do like the way music sounds on it, and every set of headphones I've ever thrown at it, it sounded great.
Yeah, I wish there was a little bit more power, because depending on the headphones I put, I do have to like crank it pretty good. But
Okay.
yeah. But it's good for its size, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, good for its size, just like me. But I can listen to Spotify. I can play my games. I can do the podcast with you.
Mm-hmm.
And its current volume setting is minus 34 decibels, and everything sounds great. So I don't know. But I started doing some research that if I was going to replace this, I'm very, very, very out of the know when it comes to what makes these good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring it up here to see if you had any sage advice for me, or should I just get another one of these because I know this works.
Yeah, it's a really, at least for me, it's a good headphone amp for its size. Like, it's bus powered, so you can just plug it in via USB and it draws all the power it needs. You don't need to plug it in separate. I don't have the world's biggest desk, so it fits perfectly in the spot.
Yeah, it is very compact.
It is very compact. And what are they going for these days? $400.
Yeah, Crutchfield's got them for $400.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, and yeah. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
Yeah.
They do a really good job, and the design of it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it doesn't take up a lot of space on the desk.
Nope.
I have the black one. I'm assuming you have the white one.
I have the black one as well. Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. Yep, I do.
Project
yeah, it's
Audio.
good. It's Good. Let's see. Let's see what.
I'm looking to see if there's anybody that sells them like near me. I don't think they do.
I don't think anybody.
They're a UK brand, aren't they?
They are. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very much so.
I don't think there's any place in the States that do it.
No, I ordered mine from Crutchfield, whatever.
Crutchfield.
Crutchfield. Yeah, that's where I ordered mine from.
Crutchfield.
Yeah. Headphone amplifiers. Let's go.
I was also looking at shit, right?
Yeah.
Sheet, however you say it.
Shit. It's shit because that's the joke. Yeah.
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 You had some of their stuff.
I've had some of their stuff. Previously I was using which one was I using? Hold on. Nope, none of those.
You were using like the gaming one, right?
Oh, maybe that's what I was. I was using the Fulla. Yes, seeing the Fulla shit. That's the last one I had was the Fulla shit. Mm-hmm.
And what was your take on it?
It was fine. The knob is great.
The knob is great.
The knob is great. Big old chunky knob. I just it's not as powerful as the Project. I mean, it's only $109.
Yeah,
right?
I was looking I was looking at either the Sin or the Gunner.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you can go like all out and do like get modular where you have a different DAC versus a different like amplifier.
Yep, you build your stack.
And then they also have things like if you want to get into tubes like the Lear or the Midgard.
I think the closest thing they have price and performance wise is the Jotunheim. Because that is a headphone amp and a preamp.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, that is correct.
So yeah, that was the one I was thinking of, and this is cool because you can choose what type of module you want in it. So if if you don't necessarily want a DAC and you want some other audio interface, I guess there's like a little card that's modular in there. So
yeah.
So I was also looking at that.
Yeah, I've been really happy with the Project stuff. Like I said, I replaced I have a integrated amplifier that drives my my turntable, and I have like a Weem media streamer hooked to it. So like most of the days now, especially like when it's not summer and everybody's out of my house, I don't use headphones.
Right.
Outside of like doing meetings, I'll just play them through the speakers in my office through that amplifier. Usually like streaming Spotify through the Weem to my my what is that thing? Hold on. The font is so small. Integrated amplifier. Yeah, it's the Maiia S3.
Maiia S3. Where is this?
Yeah,
did you put it in the doc.
I have a link. I have a link coming in right now.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my integrated amplifier. And that thing was like I think I want to say it was like $1,500.
But that's what you use with your turntable, though.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah. But as far as like an integrated amplifier, it's not that big. It's pretty reasonably sized. How much did I pay for this thing? Now that I'm probably more than I think. Why can't I find it in Google?
That's a great question.
Or Gmail, because you think I'd be able to find it. Oh well. But yeah, that's what I have.
Okay.
In black.
How is your record collection? We haven't talked about that in a while.
I've bought a few records. I've been mostly cleaning records and not listening to records. I have an illness.
I get it.
You have your joysticks. I have
joysticks and guns.
I have my illness.
Phones.
I'm literally like looking down at like 3.5 gallons of distilled water just sitting there ready to clean some records.
I get it, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Yep.
Hey, no shame here. I totally get it. All right. Well, I don't know, man. I think I got some thinking to do, but I definitely need to. I definitely probably need to do something pretty soon.
Yeah, dude, the project, whatever this little black thing is, it's good. It's good.
I'm pretty sure that's the answer. When I saw you put in there that's what you were using too, I was like, that makes sense. And that's probably the answer. Just getting another one of these.
Yeah, it's good. It doesn't get hot. It's bus powered, so I don't have to plug it in. It just it works really well for me. I like it quite a bit. I don't have the weird remote issue because I plug it into my Mac. So I don't even know where my remote is for it. I technically forgot there was a remote until you said you can't find your remote. I was like, oh yeah, there was a remote. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did it. Did we make a podcast?
We made a podcast.
Yay.
Get us out of here.
Doingtheirbest.com. You can find all the show notes, social links, everything you need there. And hey, thanks for listening.